in the back and the diehards too. Break the chains, let the passion ring. We're calling out hate in the squared off ring. Kicking out at 2, where the love runs deep and the fight stays true. Kicking out at 2, no tribal lines, just respect me and you.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Kicking out at 2 intern Ace Finley here. And before Michael and Tori hit the ropes and dive into the latest in the world of wrestling, let's tag in one of our show's partners, W Energy. If you're looking to fuel your grind, whether it's late night booking sessions, streaming, or just surviving Monday, W Energy's got your back. No crash, no jitters, just clean focus. Use code KICKINOUT, all one word, at checkout to get 10% off your order. Now let's get back to the show.
Did you break things, or what's happening?
Sorry, folks. Tori had to step away right when we started, and so to help fill that gap there, I went ahead and got the W ad out of the way.
Because you couldn't have just talked for 10 seconds? Are you serious?
Have you seen shows without you here?
No.
Because no one has. That's right. He, she's, they, and all those who slay. It's another day, another mic, and another opportunity for us to wildly overshare. Welcome to Kicking It Out 2. I'm Michael, and with me is the only person who can make chaos sound organized, Tori herself. Hey, Tori.
Oh, that was funny. I haven't got to bust it out. Nobody has in a while.
That's right. Though I do think...
Finley, we're not paying him. The hell.
Well, he's showing up on other podcasts. For us to keep him, we might need to...
Wait, he showed up on another podcast? What?
Yeah, he's showing up over on the Divas podcast, showing up over on the Run-In. Gotta keep that boy in check. But anyway, I kind of like it there, though. It is kind of like the old wrestling shows of, like, you have the entrance and then the paid for by the following right after. I kind of like it there. I might do that from now on just to get it out of the way. But anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We are here to talk about some news, do a little different 3 count, hit our hot tag, and then we go home with the last pop, as we normally do. So first thing we're going to start off is with the news. I said we're going to start with the news. Apparently, we're not going to start with the news. Hold on. Start with the news.
We've got your news by Fightful and Fightful Select, bringing you the latest headlines, insider updates, and everything shaking up the wrestling world this week. Take it away.
Add that little piece in there. I like it. So first of all, the biggest news in wrestling right now, Miranda, Alize, Newell.
Nixon, Newell?
Same difference. Newell. I always hear Newell. Is it Newell?
I thought so.
Okay, well,
I could be wrong.
Potato.
Not usually, but I could be.
Let's call the whole thing off. So I'll just set the scene. AEW Collision, November 8th. Miranda and Nixon, formerly known as Tegan Knox, for those that don't know, walked out after refusing to do a 3-minute match versus Anna Jay and Ty Conti. There's a lot more detail to it. That is just the blanket of what started this whole thing.
Right.
There are kind of some conflicting reports, PW Insider versus what Fightful has to say. So PW Insider said they refused to lose. Fightful then clarified later, though, and this is why we love Fightful, because they go a little bit deeper with these conversations. Newell. Okay. I stand corrected. It's Newell.
Oh.
Hey, broken clock. Right, twice a day. They clarified not a refusal to lose, but a pushback on the time. They wanted more than just 3 minutes, because what can you do in 3 minutes? When they walked out, they did set up some replacements. You have Ian and Maya. They stepped up and did that.
What they props did. To them.
Yeah,
stepping up, getting the time you can get.
Yeah. You can say, like, what can you do in 3 minutes? The Divas era of professional wrestling, we know how that all worked out. doing what you can, taking advantage of those minutes. That's one way to look at it. It also
What
could
can
be.
you do in 3 minutes? Ask Michael's ex-wife.
Damn. I mean, I don't know what we did with the other two, but
I'm sorry.
I was napping at the time. But they stepped up. So props to them for the professionalism to go in there and do it.
You were done in a sleep. Is that what happened?
Yep.
I disagree, Stampede. I disagree completely. I think AEW will bring them back in.
Well, with some of the stuff that's come up here, it is a possibility. And it's one of those that this has become maybe a much ado about nothing. Just maybe Ms. Newell maybe should have not tweeted this to start this whole train, because it started, a whole 3-day conversation. I know she's blasting me hard today. Not like I did when I was married. I'll killing her today. There were reports of earlier match issues with Megan.
One of those nights, huh?
Yeah, with Megan and Marina. Frustrations over the match layout and the cooperation during the match. So there was some tension that was already talked about with that specific issue. AEW staff was shocked to see the message. This is just from what's being reported. Some talent did defend Newell, saying that she did deserve better booking. Others say walking out was unprofessional. So, I mean, look at it how you will on that. There is a Twitch stream rebuttal. Newell and her partner claimed it was a mutual and respectful situation, not a walkout. They said that they were told that they would be able to leave if they wanted. And many agreed 3 minutes was too short, so they decided they would leave at that point. According to them, it was all on the up and up. Everybody said you could leave. It's fine. So maybe that's all it is. Now, there is some backstage fallout from that. AEW talent does say nobody would have known had it not been tweeted. And excuse me, I said Newell earlier. It was actually Alize that did the tweet to begin with. But she tweeted basically, we have so much more to say before Collision.
And then they talked about it on their stream.
Yeah.
So do I think it should have, they shouldn't have said anything. If they hadn't said shit, nobody would have known anything.
Yeah.
So you ran off at the mouth. So if you don't work again, like Stampede said, then that's on them. I agree. 3 minutes isn't long enough for the build that they had started.
Well, and so I read some more reporting on it, and it seems to be it was 3 minutes total. So you're talking with entrances. They were talking about there was going to be a small promo somewhere in there, and so that's going to take some of it too. If any four of them,
minute and a half.
And so like you're whittling that time down more and more. So yeah, I mean it's not enough time for them to really get into anything and do anything with it. It could be a fucking around find out type of moment with the tweet coming out. If we would have just let it go, let it be, maybe they would have got a phone call the next week for a longer match. Maybe not. To me, this seems like a lot of the same situation we had recently of some WWE talent who we'll talk about here shortly. Actually, the next story, who tweeted something out, and if he would have just kept his mouth shut, everything would be fine.
Well,
but sometimes you tweet and things happen.
The complaint about the match with Nixon and Miranda, the complaint with the Megan match was, I think it was Nixon. It may have been Miranda. Completely no-sold Marina's finish.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the most protected wrestlers in the company, and that finish has been used, 5 times? Yeah, no, you're not wrong, Stampede. But so yeah, I see the problems, but they ran off at the mouth, and that was the mistake.
Yep.
Like,
hey, boss,
had
baby.
you not said shit, there may have been conversations about it from people backstage, but we wouldn't have known anything.
Yeah.
But you all said something. Why?
Yeah.
What did you think you were going to get?
Well, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. I mean, you think of situations like when, two certain individuals walked out of the company because they weren't getting what they wanted out of the tag team division when they had the tag titles. And that, ruffled some feathers and unfortunately got them kind of pushed down the card for a while until they were ready to bring
started
them
to
back
say,
in.
but it's worked out really well for both of them.
Recently, yes. At the time, they were both kind of, one stayed away from the company. And yeah, her career has worked out great. Her career with that company kind of got blackballed. So the other one, though, is finally back and having a baby, and great for her. A wonderful life.
And the videos that her and Jimmy are putting out are hilarious.
with the little face on the belly.
Yes.
So cute. Speaking of that other person, Ridge Holland, he had a recent interview, kind of humanized this misunderstood story. There's a lot going back and forth as far as like what happened with him and what's going on now. First of all, there's some confusion about a GoFundMe that he has. Holland's mom launched a GoFundMe after his early WWE termination. He has shut it down, promising to donate equal funds to a charity once he's financially stable. He said he didn't ask for it. He's not trying to be a scammer. He was actually blindsided by the fact that there was a GoFundMe in his name. The firing, he did talk about that too. WWE cut him while he was injured 7 months into the recovery that was supposed to last until like 2026. WWE cited breach due to social media posts. So his social media post that he did at the time was him talking about them essentially not paying him while he was gone, and that was causing him some financial hardship. There is a term in their contracts that say that if for any reason you are on social media, you cannot discourage the company that you currently work for. And so they considered that discouragement of what he worked for, and that's what causes their termination. Yeah, disparagement.
I feel like all he said was, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
I don't feel like that's disparagement of the company. It's a statement.
Yeah, it is a statement. One of the things that he did want to make very pointed, though, is that WWE is still covering his rehab. So they are still covering his treatment. They are still covering his rehab. That is something that they all agreed on, that would still happen. So while financially he is high and dry still, he doesn't have a paycheck. He is not having to pay for his own recovery. It's the first time in years that WWE has released an injured talent mid-recovery. Holland did say that it does take a hit to his pride. It's his cross to bear. He admits there was some fault in him. Maybe he shouldn't have said anything. If he didn't say anything, he'd be still sitting on the payroll probably and been just fine. Or they were looking for a reason. That's my opinion, not his. I think if you nitpicked that statement as disparaging to the company, I think you're looking for a reason to get rid of that kid. He also did say in there, I don't have it in my notes, but it's just something that just stuck in my head now that I was thinking about it. He is kind of downtrodden on himself a little bit because he does realize that for the rest of his life, he's going to be the guy that ended Big E's career. No matter what he does, he's going to be that guy. Which he's not wrong.
He's not. But if Big E is fine and they're okay, we don't get to be shitty about it.
No, we don't.
Like, yes, it sucks. Sucks horribly.
Yeah.
The fact that we don't have Big E on TV anymore in that capacity. But it was a fluke. It wasn't.
Yeah. It was an accident. Accidents happen all the time. Unfortunately, sometimes it paralyzes people. Sometimes it doesn't do anything at all. So, I mean,
yeah,
it was just one of those where it hit on the hard side.
And just walk away from it like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I just, yes, it sucks. But to be fair, I'm not a Ridge Holland fan. He just doesn't excite me. Nothing they've done with him really have I been like, oh yay, woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, he's never really got that character. Like he's good in the ring, but there was nothing ever to grasp onto with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But am I going to sit here and label him the guy that hurt Big E? No, I'm not going to say I haven't in the past, but having heard everything I have now and keeping up as much as we do now, no.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, so Final Boss Baby also notes in there, he said he was let go while he was hurt as he was working for another company, TNA, on their behalf. So specifically kind of bringing up the fact that they had him working in TNA at the time as well. AEW is eyeing Zeta Steel, who recently hit the news because she decided she wasn't going to be part of the WWID contract anymore. She opted out of renewing that. Contract in October, still not signed. Former WWID talent had a 9-match run in Evolve, opted not to renew the WWID contract, has worked for Marigold, MLW, even challenged for their for their women's title. So rumor is right now AEW is eyeing for her to come into the fold, and hey, good talent's good talent. Bring it in.
Right. I'm not going to complain about it because there's been people they've brought in, and I'm like, why are you doing this? And they've been so good.
Yeah.
So y'all bring her in, cool.
Yeah, as long as we use the talent, that's my only thing. Don't bring in talent and just let them sit on the bench. So if you're going to use her. Kind of a fun little story. I don't know if you knew this. You know what JCW is? Excuse me, JCW.
Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's currently in that company? Vince Russo. Currently in that company.
I saw that.
And
Vince Russo. The first thing he did was take a shot at somebody.
So he didn't take a shot at somebody. He's trying to get someone in. He said, I don't know.
It was Drew.
Yeah, I don't know where Drew is standing on his contract, but we would love to see him in JCW. Unfortunately for Russo, Drew has re-signed with the WWE back in 2024. He has a long-term contract worth millions running into 2028. The Rock even publicly congratulated him on that contract, so it's weird that Russo didn't know that. Quick fun fact though, Drew once wanted to wrestle in JCW during his indie days, but it never happened. So just kind of fun with that. He wanted him in JCW, which who wouldn't? Who would not want Drew McIntyre on their roster? That man's made out of granite. He's very fun, intelligent in the ring. He's a great guy. Going back to the WWID program though, there's a WWID women's title tournament coming up. November 17th, Wrestling Open RI. There's a six women match to crown the new WWID Women's Champion. The confirmed competitors right now are Brittany Brooks, Notorious Mimi, Erika Demia, Shannon Lavangi, and Tiara James. There's going to be a qualifier with Caitlin Marie, Nixie XS, which I know I follow, you follow, I think Big Mike follows too. Lainey Luck, Angelina Risk, Lily Ruiz, and Jordan Blade. My only question to this is, where's Kid Bandit? She should be somewhere in this competition. I'm just saying. Number 207 on the PWI 250 women's could be in this match. That's all I'm saying. In case you're not aware, though, the reason we're having this tournament is because Kylie Ray had to vacate the title after announcing a pregnancy. And then her contract got not renewed. So, great job, WWE. On to better news, Eddie Guerrero honored in El Paso. So, El Paso City Hall has decided that November 18th is going to be officially Eddie Guerrero Day. Eddie's daughter, Sherilyn, and community member Chris Rojas organized this situation. They're going to repaint a mural at Lincoln Park, the place, not the band. Rename a park after Eddie. And then have a long-term goal of having a statue in his honor. So, really cool. Love the idea of having a place for him. Real quick, just kind of take a break from the news and get you into the conversation a little bit. What's your favorite Eddie moment?
Favorite Eddie moment?
Yeah, favorite Eddie moment. And you in the chat, sound up too. What are your favorite Eddie moments? What comes to mind when you think of Eddie?
There's two.
Okay.
One I don't like talking about because of who's involved. It was the end of the WrestleMania when they both won the titles. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. So I'm gonna say this to that real quick. I think I agree with Kurt Angle on this. On a wrestling standpoint, we can't erase him from history. Like he's part of some of the best moments in wrestling. So we can say he was there for that wrestling moment. We're not justifying what he did in his personal life. He was there.
Yeah, but that moment was so good. And then I think his first title, when he beat, I think it was Brock for the title.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was his first world title win.
Was that his first?
Was it U.S. title or world title?
No, that was world title. He won from Brock. I don't know if that was his first one, though. It may have been, though. Big Mike, I'm not sure if Dom will be there. Dom has mentioned now that he is the best luchador, and that includes Eddie. So I don't know if he'll be there to support his daddy.
I need him to get the fuck out of here with that shit.
I don't know. After that match on Monday.
Oh, that was so good.
I would have to say my favorite moment is he had not a match but a promo, and I believe it was with Brock. It was with the build up to that match, and he was talking about his addiction, and just like Eddie was always fun. Eddie was always a great character. The idea of him flipping on a dime and he got serious and talked about like the sleepless nights, the times that he should have been dead, and using that for the build up to this match was so good. Possibly one of my favorite promos. Lady Alpha, what are we laughing at? Tori's done a lot of funny things this episode.
It was Brock Lesnar at No Way Out.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah. So just that moment of him winning was such, because we grew up with him. I mean, he wouldn't be that much older than we are.
No, not much. Definitely had gone too soon. Like
November 9th of 67, so 9 years younger, 9 years older than me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was a teenager when I started watching wrestling.
And he'd already been wrestling for 10 years. Him and Rey Mysterio. Oh, yeah. All right. Nobody in the chat has a Eddie moment they want to talk about? That's crazy.
I don't like him.
Y'all don't like Eddie. That's sad. Now I'm gonna give you all time to type your stuff. We're gonna go into the next one here. Definitely still put your favorite Eddie moments in the chat. WWE has changed their event strategy, kind of keeping with the classics. Mark Shapiro's comments, TKO wants to evolve past Vince McMahon's legacy events. The question is, what does that mean? Fans have obviously speculated that this meant possibly changes to the Rumble or changes to WrestleMania, or even the fact that we might go away from those events to begin with. There is some clarification on it, though. WWE execs told Fightful this is mainly applying to the monthly pay-per-views, not the tent poles. So the things like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, those stay. But the things like the random, Great Balls of Fire, Hell in a Cell.
Oh, what they're going to do is change the name of every pay-per-view after WrestlePalooza. And first of all, stop acting like that shit was original. ECW did it for you already. But they're going to end up changing the name of probably every pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have a specific Money in the Bank pay-per-view anymore. They'll change the name. Same thing with Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. I do hope so, but I'm going to leave that more for the 3 count later, because the 3 count we're going to do a little differently today. They also talked a little bit about future sites. Indianapolis and New Orleans are confirmed for future Mania and SummerSlam. So that's obviously coming down the line there. I do like the fact that they did clarify we're not changing the tent poles. That was my first initial gut reaction as well, of because Vince always pushed WrestleMania. He always pushed SummerSlam. He always pushed Survivor Series. And so saying we need to move on from Vince's vision, that immediately made me think, oh God, what are we changing? Because that's ingrained into WWE, those 4 pay-per-views. Sam P puts in here, Eddie was an absolute legend. WWE, WCW, AAA, CMLL, ECW, New Japan, and his influence is still felt today. Absolutely. And there's even some, if you can catch the things online, the videos of it online, there's some local indie stuff that he just kind of showed up for. He fought, I think it was one of Punk's early matches on the indies. He faced Eddie. And it was just kind of Eddie showed up down there. I think it was a 3-way, actually. I think it was Eddie, Ray, and then Punk, a young Punk. And they got to be in this match together, and it was an amazing match. So, imagine being a young Punk that's not famous yet, and you got to face 2 of the greatest luchadors going at that time. The snap into a Slim Jim Survivor Series. Possibly. All right. Real quick before we go on to the final news story today, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some heels.
Hey, wrestling fans! If you're a woman who loves professional wrestling, you need to check out AEW Heels, the official female-focused online community from All Elite Wrestling. It's a safe space to connect with other fans, share your passion, and build friendships with women from around the world. Members get access to exclusive content, virtual events, Q&A sessions with AEW talent, ticket pre-sales, contests, giveaways, and even in-person meetups at live shows. Led by Amanda Huber and Aubrey Edwards, AEW Heels gives you a place to truly feel part of the AEW family. Don't miss out! Join AEW Heels today and connect with your fellow wrestling fans like never before.
Thank you, Balake.
You couldn't have just named her Jake Wellen? Why did we go with Balake?
It's Blake. Balake. Anyway,
Wait.
love that bit.
What?
Balake, yeah.
Right.
You say one more dumbass name. Anyway, the final thing we're going to talk about in the news is the surprising showing of the PWI Women's 250. I did, just before we got started here today, I did finally get to see the full 250 list. My main concern was if our undefined favorite wrestler of all time, Kid Bandit, was on that list, and she was at 207, so I'm very happy about that. Mega Man is the first wrestler to compete in 2 tag team tournaments at the same time, one in AEW, one in Stardom. Yeah. And then she's doing Blood and Guts tomorrow, which I'm so happy with. One more sleep away from Blood and Guts.
I'm probably not going to get to watch it till Thursday, but I'm still so excited about it.
Yeah. It's going to be good. But I did want to talk over just a couple of things. First of all, the rankings are being debated from fans, obviously. But the top 10, you want me to go from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10? How do you want to hear this?
Go 10 to 1.
Okay. Number 10, Rhea Ripley. Number 9, Naomi. Number 8, Saray. Number 7, Athena. Number 6, Io Sky. We'll stop there for a second. What do you think so far?
Rhea's at 10 and Naomi's at 9.
I think it makes sense. Naomi's had a hell of a run since she's turned heel.
And Athena's at 7.
Yes.
ROH Forever Champion, who has had 2 total losses in how long? Is it 7?
Mm-hmm.
She was hurt for a while. No, I can't get behind that. She should be at least top 5.
She should be top 5. All right.
That video I haven't watched that whole promo for Blood and Guts yet, but I want to see that. That shit's going to be so good.
So I haven't seen that promo yet. I have seen the Thanksgiving promo, though, which
Thanksgiving promo was
so
fantastic. That shit was so good.
They also posted today the behind the scenes for that promo. And seeing Nick and Matt in an actual EVP role is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Because they're hyping up the guys and the girls that are there. And
Io's at 6.
He was a 6.
All right. I can get... Rhea has spent a good portion of this year injured, so...
Just kind of off and on here.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So here's your top 5. Stephanie Vaquer. Which,
Okay.
women's champion. Okay.
She shouldn't be top 5.
They have blood slides and everything. All right. Number 4, Tiffany Stratton.
Okay.
That one confuses me. I'll say that one.
I don't like
Stephanie,
4
I
or
can
5.
kind of vouch for.
No.
Tiffany, I don't know. I don't know
No.
about that one.
Go ahead.
Saya Kamatani, I
Um,
believe is how you say her last name.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
And here's your top 2. First time, I think it said ever, that AEW women have been the top 2 female wrestlers. Timeless Toni Storm, number 2. Mercedes Moné, number 1.
Okay. Tiffany and Stephanie should not be top 10. And some people are... That's one of those... This is that take that'll have you end up like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Neither one of them deserve a top 10.
I'll back you on the Tiffany one. I do like Tiffany. I want to be very specific. I do love Tiffany. However, I don't think she's top 10. I don't.
Stampede, is this your top 10?
I'm assuming so.
Okay. Huh?
I'm assuming so.
The spaces aren't in the right spot, so it
Yeah.
kind of runs together.
The emphasis is on the wrong syllable on some of these.
Yeah.
If you can clarify some of that for us there, Start, Stampede, I appreciate it.
So, yeah, no, I like Stephanie. Tiffany's title run was less than stellar.
Yeah.
She's not a bad talent, but do I think she's a top 10 talent?
Well, and
no.
I want to be clear. Like I think Tiffany's run has been tragic by not her fault, because one of her first defenses was against someone just as green as her. They had her go
And that match was
against.
terrible.
They had her go against a legend, who is a legend, however, has not been in the business in a while. And
Yeah.
so her first match back, you have her go with the world champ, and that's
That
going to be a
wasn't
little
pretty either.
different time period that PWI. Mine goes from January 1st, to December 31st.
What does PWI do?
I think they stopped theirs in June. Like it's halfway through the year or something like that.
No, I still don't think Stephanie or Tiffany get in the top 10.
Yeah, like I said,
They're definitely... I definitely don't put them above Athena or Rhea. No. Or
well, yeah,
Io.
no. Like, let me be clear. I could push for Stephanie. However, she would be further down in that top 10 for sure, if not number 10. No, I agree. Tiffany,
Around
nowhere near that top
50?
10. I could see that too. Some of those names on that list, which you and I, like, after the show, you and I can go through the list together, just if you haven't seen it yet, and talk about some of the people that are on there. But, yeah, no, I don't see her sniffing anywhere near that top 10. That's weird placement for that.
Whatever, same thing.
Yeah. So I think we've already discussed enough of who's overrated, who's underrated on that. The big question is, should Mercedes be number one?
Yeah, Rhea at 17?
But I agree with that, though. Because, like, the time she's been out versus the time that she's been there.
Okay, so Mercedes at number 1. Yeah. I'm the first to say that some of her matches have not been the best.
Mhm.
There's been some that we were just like, ugh. But what she's done, all the places she's done, the companies that she's helped elevate just by having their title on TV, and she's not booking herself to win.
Yeah, no,
They are.
they're asking her to come there and
This
win
is
that title.
not create. She doesn't. This whole she has creative control. No, she doesn't.
Well, and even if she did, even if she had creative control, or what was the term that he used? Like conservative control, I think is the term that I heard someone use recently, where it's you have some control over the character, but there are some final say-sos that the company has. That is kind of wild. I'll give you that. You and I had a little back and forth yesterday about Nia Jax, but Nia Jax being ahead of the Starlight Kid is kind of crazy. Her being ahead of a lot of those people is kind of crazy. But yeah, no. So even if she did have any sort of control over her creative in AEW, the other 13 places she has titles in, she does not have creative control. So they are asking, and rightfully so, smartly so, they're asking her to come there, take this title, show that shit on AEW for us, please. Give us a little bit of shine. I don't see that there's any problem with it. Unfortunately, Aminata's hurt, but like I'm sure it's the same thing with that. Aminata comes to DPW, wins their women's world title. Do you think she's not going to show it on AEW the next week? Some sort of mention that she's their champion, it's raising all ships, that whole thing. Any other thoughts about the 250 before we move on?
I'm sure I have a lot of thoughts, but I haven't looked at the whole list, so.
All right. We will slip on over. That's weird. It will make it go away, but it won't pop it up now. I'll have to fix that later. We'll move on to 3 count. 3 count, this go round is actually going to be a little bit different. Mainly because, frankly, both of us agree that wrestling has been a little bit lackluster lately. And so there hasn't been a lot of great stuff that we want to talk about. I was watching a show the other day, and they did a top 10 things that stopped WWE's big boom, the period that they've had here recently. And that made me think, well, I kind of wonder what our top 3 things we would change today to maybe try to bring both shows, not just WWE, but all shows, back to more of a prominence, because we're both kind of losing our excitements about the shows, and so what could bring that up a little bit? First one I want to talk to, it kind of goes with some of the news that we heard today. Stop building pay-per-views around a stipulation match. I have hated this for years. I don't understand it. When was the last time we had a Hell in a Cell match that was a legit blow-off match or a legit rivalry? Can you think of one?
No.
That's because what happens is we get a month or 2 out from Hell in a Cell, and we go, oh shit, we need someone in here, and so then we end up booking Seth Rollins versus The Fiend and making it Hell in a Cell, because why not? It causes creative to be forced into a corner, where what we should be doing is something that is so massive. You know, like, I think the last one I remember that was really big was the tag team one, where it was New Day versus the Usos in Hell in a Cell. That's the last one I remember being like, this is a blow off for a big match.
We didn't even blow off Drew and Punk when he busted Drew open.
No.
So, I will say AEW does a better job of blow-offs with stipulation matches. They haven't with Darby Mox, but I feel like this is building to something else that we might get tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, we kind of have. I mean, Mox and Hangman had that banger at All Out, or All In.
Yeah.
And they've kind of stayed away from it. I think they had the rematch, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Well, and even so, in Blood and Guts and War Games being so close together is so weird, because it's kind of the same idea.
I'm not a fan of it.
But
so we had talked about it,
yeah,
hoping we would get Blood and Guts in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I know why they didn't now, because there was a conversation about the Athletic Commission.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it wasn't called, Blood and Drowning. So
right. I just don't. Too many of these stipulation matches aren't the end. Why are we doing them? They used to be like Stark at the scaffold match.
Yeah.
That ended whatever was going on for a long time.
Yeah.
They may come back to each other later, but it's a good time down the road, not the next week.
Yeah. Well, and like there's things that have become a staple now, and I'm kind of okay with it. Elimination Chamber, like, that's become like it's the other titles Royal Rumble. Whoever doesn't get picked for the Rumble, that's going to be who goes for that title. That's kind of okay to me. But like Money in the Bank, how many times have we had a world champion in the past year or two that has had to put the belt down? And that's a perfect opportunity for Money in the Bank. You know what? Next pay-per-view, Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
That person doesn't get the Money in the Bank, they get the title.
They get the title.
Like, that kind of stuff. Like, that should be when we use those. Not just because, hey, it's March, let's have a Money in the Bank pay-per-view. No, that screws that up. But what I was saying about War Games coming up, it seemed obvious we were going somewhere with Jey Uso. He even had a wonderful tweet that I loved at the end of that pay-per-view of him, like a picture of him in black and white sitting down at the barricade, staring up at Punk holding the title. And he says, "That's it, you win." And then the next day, he's Smiley Jey Uso shaking Punk's hand and tag teaming with him. And I think that's because they went, oh shit, we got War Games coming up. He needs to be on the War Games team.
It was cheesy and it was stupid, but him yelling for Regal to say War Games was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, there's moments, absolutely. But it's like, it changed what felt like was a point in creative, because we had to somehow shove into this match. Where a War Games match, like the first one we had, made perfect sense. The Bloodline had been running roughshod over the entire company, not even just one brand, but the entire company. And they got a team together to fix that. Unless we have that big of a story, War Games should be something that comes up once in a while. Let's go back to 5v5, Survivor Series, brand, whatever you want to do that.
I would love to see them go back to just old school Survivor Series, 4-on-4s. But I want that match at the end of the night with everybody left. And whoever wins that, like Battle Royal type, however you want to do it, faces, heels, whoever wins the match gets a shot at like the IC title. or the U.S. title.
I want to say they did that one year, didn't they?
They
like
did.
back in the day.
And it was fantastic.
Because that's a great step to have, is whoever survives this, like there's a reason you want to survive the match other than just, because then again, that would be a way to fix that step where you're not having to shove them into a storyline. You just have 5 faces, 5 heels. Whoever survives this match gets a shot. And maybe you end up with 5 heels and 2 faces by the end of it. And then there's a story to tell in that last match. Or we do that on the Raw after. Like, whatever. However you want to do that. But yeah, like that has always bugged the hell out of me of, we do this cramming booking into getting us to a stipulation where the stipulation should be like the big matches should be the blow off. That should be where we're stopping this rivalry. I hate to pass it off like 2K, but like that's what it is. The big match is the blow off. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
We'll go to the first one of yours. Better use of YouTube, TikTok, and social media.
Some of them are great at it. Drew is a perfect example. That man has used social media to the fullest extent. Chelsea is really good at social media, except that when she said what she said and Matt Cardona had a field day with it.
So did Joe Hendry.
Yes.
But Matt's okay with that.
Huh?
But Matt's okay with that. He likes toys.
Yeah. First of all, I know they were early, but Dark and Dark Evolution on YouTube, I watched the hell out of those shows. Because I could turn it on and catch up on 6 weeks worth in an afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was an hour show or a 4-hour show, I could just watch those back to back and catch a bunch of fun matches. I think Kenny Omega wrestled Dark Uno on one of those matches.
Mm-hmm.
Or Evil Uno. Like, we're never going to get that on regular TV.
Well, and the flip side of it, WWE in the past has done a Mixed Match Challenge on YouTube. They've done the Speed Championship on X. Like, using those social medias to get your lesser talent, not lesser in ability, but the ones that you don't have time for on the main show, that you could actually see it. Back in the main event days, the Velocity days, having those things on the internet are a great idea.
Yeah. Do I think now? I would rather have seen them put Speed on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant for short format. Already in the ring, we don't need entrance musics. We don't need a big to-do after the match. The 3-minute match.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I would love to see, and everybody's like, if Warner Brothers sells, what happens to AEW, blah, blah, blah. They have a contract. So unless they get bought out, which will be hella expensive, they've got their contract still, and I'm sure it's a couple of years worth.
Right.
I would love for them, whoever they go to next, to get YouTube usage back. I don't know who owns YouTube at this point, but get that usage back. I wouldn't hate if they got to deal with Prime.
Well, and
not that I really want Amazon to own anything else because they own 9/10 of the world, but
between them and Disney, they've got everything.
Right. I wouldn't mind seeing Disney get a shot at it.
And not, it doesn't even like you mentioned YouTube, but like any social media. Like, okay, if you can't make a deal with YouTube, go to TikTok, go to Instagram, go to any of them. Be like, hey, we want to put like 5-minute matches. Just quick little matches, the dark matches that are before and after the main program that we're showing. We want to put those on your platform. Put our name behind it, put our fans behind it. You get the clicks, you get money from it, we get money for it. Everybody's happy.
I also, and WWE does a pretty good job with social media overall.
Mm-hmm.
They post stuff. Chelsea is the queen of social media for the WWE. Like, they'll post a video and she has a response of her. Anytime it's a video of her, she immediately has a response to it.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Well, and not that I want to take things away from content creators, because we're not popular ones, but we're content creators, and I don't want people to take ours. But the sad thing is that the social media clips that I remember more are the ones made by content creators, not the ones by the company itself. The dude with the Sonic rings, I look for that every pay-per-view.
That shit is so
Every
good. And
single time.
Ricochet's reaction to it is fucking great.
The Smooth Criminal videos for Penta. Every single time I'm waiting for it to come out just to see it.
The Kevin Owens Cody Rhodes thing was on social media.
Yeah, made
They
perfect
didn't record
sense.
that was so good because we were all like, wait, what the fuck?
Well,
Did this actually happen?
And then the using Becky's social media to make us think that Seth was injured. That's the only reason that I think, like, 100% this one's real, because we're not seeing it on her social media.
Yeah.
But, like, using social media to bring kayfabe back a little bit of, like, look, he's injured. He's hurt. We're out here with our kid. The kid's getting kayfabed.
Yeah. I feel like we could do more than what some people do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Some. Punk is pretty active. Chelsea, Drew. A good portion of AEW's people are pretty active on social media.
Yeah.
Nyla is the queen of Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And her videos on TikTok with her wife are fucking great. But there's so much opportunity there that the companies are not taking advantage of.
Right.
Yes, WWE and AEW both post clips. I'm not a fan of them posting a clip 45 seconds after it happened. Let the people get to it first, then post the whole thing.
Yeah,
let that person at the show post that 15 or 30-second clip they had. Once it gets 1 million views, like it's probably going to, then post your whole 15-minute match.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like social media could be used better overall by the companies themselves. Honestly, I'm to the point that WWE can go fuck themselves overall. But all companies, like I think it's West Coast Pro Wrestling, West Coast Pro, I think. I think that's who it is. They're going to start putting all their stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Is it West Coast?
And that would make perfect sense. I mean, DPW does it right now. That's their main platform, is do stuff on YouTube.
West Coast Pro. They're moving their live shows away from paywall, and soon they'll begin uploading past events to YouTube for free.
Mm-hmm.
This is smart.
Yeah.
With DPW shutting down, with GCW shutting was it GCW? Deadlock Pro is shutting down. There was another one that's shutting down.
Are they?
Prestige. That's who it was.
Okay.
I think it was Deadlock. Somebody else did, but it's one of those that West Coast Pro Wrestling is smart. They're going to put that shit on YouTube and let everybody watch it.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense. Get the traffic. I mean, we see people that are making money off of YouTube and other social media. Like, if you're behind that paywall and you're not making a lot, make it free.
Yeah.
Let people just see it.
Well, and that's where Dark and Evolution were great, because you got to see a lot of talent before they became big talent.
Yeah. Well, and like, to me, like, Dark and Evolution, that was my time to see the Dark Order. Because Dark Order wasn't getting to big TV, and I loved watching those boys in the ring. They're hilarious and fun, and they can be scary if they need to be. See something you want to talk about?
Stupid fan response. I'm not going to call out this person. This is their Twitter. They posted this. WWE has absolutely buried Dom, stripping him of the IC title in the most insulting way possible, like he's some mid-card jobber instead of the future of the company. This is the same guy who carried the mid-card division on his back and stealing shows, and now they completely ruined him. Triple H killed all of Dom's momentum. Fuck this company. I'm sorry. Did you watch the same match we all fucking did?
No, the storyline it
What?
opens up because immediately after that, Finn posts, "I woke up. I'm in a great mood."
And then Dom, they post that video of Dom in the back going,
Yeah.
"Where's the Judgment Day?"
Yeah, where's Judgment?
If you don't see
names
this
them all by
advancing
name
Finn,
too.
if you don't see this advancing Finn versus Dom,
hmm
you're crazy.
Well, and then it advances Dom versus Ray again. Because Ray's
Yeah.
back there shaking John's hand, going like, "Hey, thanks for giving my son that ass whooping."
Yeah. You're not wrong, Stampede. The Stardom doing that is huge for them.
Yeah.
It's like we
a
talked
great
about
free
with-
way to get your stuff out there.
It's like we talked about with Wrestle Dream.
Mhm.
The way they ended that match on YouTube, but didn't actually end the match.
Mhm. Yep.
So
Brings it into, I've got to watch the rest of this match. To do that, I have to get the actual show. I agree with it. I think it's sorely missed. I think the people that are using it are seeing the advantage of it. Definitely more people could be using social media. Another thing I wanted to talk about, so to my number 2, championship matches should be earned. That comes from this past Monday. I understand Nikki Bella is a legend, but you lose 3 matches since you've came back, and now just because you're Nikki Bella, like they haven't announced it yet, but that's what we're doing. She's going to get a title match against Stephanie. And to me, so here's the thing. It's one change, right? One change. You can change one of these 2 things about that story, and it makes it more easy for me to swallow. And that's 1, if she would have stayed on Stephanie's good side for a few more weeks, get some wins. So that way she's at least on the uptick of winning. 2, I need an explanation next week of the reason she beat her down is because she's lost a step because she's catering to Stephanie. And they don't give her the title shot. Stephanie says, "I want to fight her."
I agree.
Then it makes a little more
Agree
sense.
completely.
But without any of that, it doesn't make any sense. You've lost every match since you came back, ma'am. Like, why do you earn anything?
And
I miss
need
the
Stephanie to
days.
come out and say, no, we're not having a match, bitch. We're fighting.
I miss the rankings that AEW used to do, which they randomly talk about now. But the idea of like this person has won this many matches versus losing this many matches this year, and this is where they rank because of that, and because of that they get a title match next week. Throwing some more of that in, I like it. It doesn't have to be all the time. There can be personal beefs. Like I said, small little change in that Nikki storyline, and it's a personal beef, and I get that. But they're just going to hand her that title match because she's Nikki.
Yeah, I agree. Now, there is a certain part of I'm fine with them doing that because she's Nikki Bella. I feel like this one is a little different than a normal I beat you down so I get a title shot. She's Nikki Bella. Like, the career speaks for itself. I agree. I would have liked a little more build. But
well, and so I will say I agree with you. It's different, but and maybe it's the dad in me. But if Aldis or Pierce comes out next week and goes, "Well, you went out there and beat down the world champ. I'm going to give you a world title match because you're Nikki Bella." You're providing her a win for bad behavior because you did something like you shouldn't have done. Again, if she hadn't have turned yet, I'd be perfectly fine with them saying, like, "Look, you're a legend. If you want a shot, we'll give you a shot." But her turning on her and then immediately getting a shot, I don't get that type of story. I don't understand that. You didn't earn anything.
What I would have done is they win a tag match against Judgment Day, kind of be done with that. Nikki says, "Look, we've won a couple matches because we beat Judgment Day, blah, blah, blah. what do you think about you and I going? It doesn't have to be for the title, but if I win, I get a title shot. Stephanie beats her. Nikki beats her down, and then Stephanie's like, "We're gonna fight for the title. Like we're fighting for the title.
Or
we're not having a match.
Or have
we're
Nikki win nefariously. Have her turn in that match.
Yeah.
But then, she beats her, which was the stipulation of if I win this match, I get the title shot.
Yeah.
At least then it's a story. At least there's a reason we're giving her the title. She's earned it. Whether she earned it with cheating or not, that's neither here nor there. But
yeah, I agree.
I miss number one contenders matches. I miss the rankings. That type of stuff to me makes more sense of why they're getting.
Said wins are going to matter, but they don't anymore.
Yeah, they did for like a year. Which, here's the thing, I do get that because you book yourself into a corner with that, right? If it's all about rankings, then you don't get the storyline out of it. Sting 710, absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Welcome
100%.
in. I don't think you've ever seen you in the chat. Welcome in.
I have. 100%. No, I'm good with her. You have no idea. They're not going to put the title on Harley. I would love it.
I like how you just stuttered all over yourself just thinking about Harley Cameron.
I did. I would love for Harley to pull off this fluke win and have the title for 24 hours. I don't give a fuck. That win would be so epic and so unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to hurt Athena. It catapults Harley to the moon. Athena turns around and beats her, and it was a fluke.
Yeah.
Whatever. But okay.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like sometimes that kind of stuff makes sense. Like you've got the Maxine and Becky thing. Maxine's never gotten a clean. Oh, Professor Bear. Hey, we're doing this guy's show.
Yeah, I got
on the 14th.
When is that?
14th of next month, or 14th of January. Excuse me. Is the plan, I believe.
Okay.
I saw you sent me a message today. I haven't seen it, but I assume we were confirming that date. But
okay.
Welcome in. Glad you're here.
I just work here.
It's brains, talent. That's their talent.
I just work here.
But situations like that where like Maxine earned the shot, but she never got a clean shot. And so she keeps getting a shot because she never got the clean shot. Okay, that makes sense. Now, if she would have just got 3 shots in a row for no reason, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's a great story for her to get that match against Athena, for sure, though.
Yes, I think they're going to put the title on Maxine. I think Becky loses that match.
So I talked about this yesterday on the Aftermatch, which, by the way, everybody, make sure to watch Raw Aftermath with me and Lady Alpha. It's always 10:30 every night. Sometimes we're going to cross streams with one of our own, and we apologize for that, but we'll talk about him here shortly because he's our hot tag for the week. We talked about it. I kind of hope, which here I go again, I'm booking something that I'm going to get very disappointed with because it's not going to happen because I think it's a cool story. I don't want Maxine to get it. I want Becky to lose her shit and beat her. Like, beat her clean. Go ahead and beat her. But still lose her shit and beat her down. And then Natty, not Natalia, Natty, who has been training Maxine for the last 3 weeks, comes out. We get her that title. Maxine's so young. She's got so much time. And she's so much better than she was before. I don't think she has any business beating Becky currently.
Again, this is, to me, it's the same thing as Harley.
I
beat her with that roll up, or have Maxine going back and forth. Becky's dominating. Maxine gets a roll up and gets that hair from it. Becky snaps, gets herself disqualified because she doesn't stop the beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
Maxine wins. You can still do what you're talking about with Natty, but Maxine still gets a rematch for the title.
Okay.
Triple threat. Natalya makes Maxine tap so Becky doesn't take the L.
I'm good with that. See, we're going to book things that we like better.
100%. The Maxine storyline is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been a fun story. And I listened to the first 30 minutes of her interview with Chris today. It's a great second interview that they did, so people definitely should go back and listen to that if they have a chance to. Maxine won't beat Becky, but this will be a great showcase for her. Yeah, it'll be a wonderful showcase for her.
But again, we're back to the no singles wins.
Yeah. Yeah, well, in the AJ thing, AJ got I think that should have been right after the pay-per-view, because AJ got the pin. So she got the pin. That would earn her a shot to me. But now that it's been a month or two away, now it's harder for you to explain that to me and make it make sense. All right, your next one. You want to talk about fewer pay-per-views and more meaningful builds.
I think some of that goes to everything we've been talking about. I personally think both companies should go to 6 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah.
Keep your big 4, mix in 2 others every other month. Because then you're going to have a story, and injuries happen, shit happens. You have to make changes on the fly. That's going to happen.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Does that also help quell some of that? Because if you're not having a big show every month, then you're not going out every month as well. Because all these injuries that we're seeing, yeah, they may be fluke things, but they're usually because they're out there going above and beyond, because it's a SummerSlam, because it's Survivor Series, because it's a bigger show that you're trying to go all out for. If we ship that to every couple of months.
But I liked it when AEW had less pay-per-views, because it made the pay-per-views, which are always bangers, that much more important.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're missing at this point. Chelsea Green won her title back, and the government shutdown ended. It's not a coincidence.
Damn it, Chelsea. Yeah, I can't falter.
Somebody else said
logic
that,
is sound.
That's funny. Less pay-per-views, first of all, is easier on the fans financially.
Yes. Well, I think back specifically to the all-in, all-out situation, where the last all-in and all-out were 2 weeks away from each other, and they're $50 a pop.
I think they ended up moving all out.
They did, but
of that.
The original, but if you looked at the original schedule, you look at it, it's Jesus Christ, 2 weeks in a row, or within 2 weeks, I'm having to pop out $100 to watch pay-per-views. That's crazy.
I didn't have to pay $50 to watch All In.
I know.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. If you have, you have an 8-week build, 6 to 8 week build, because you're going to have, after every show, you have that down week, the first show after. It's always a down, within the first show or two, after your pay-per-view, it's a down show.
Yeah, it's to rebuild whatever you're going to go to next.
Do I think WWE will do that? Never. Never. Right now, if somebody said, who's the face of AEW, I could list 6 people off the top of my head. And 2 of them are injured. If you ask me who's the face of WWE, it's Cody.
Yeah. Well, and I actually, so
It's not.
preparing for today's hot tag, I'm just going to throw it out there. So it's CJ. CJ is our hot tag this week, and I was going through some of his old videos because he's been on hiatus, and so I don't have a clip of his today, but we're going to talk a little bit about him later. One of the things that he talked about in one of his old ones was who he thought the QB1 was for WWE, and this was like a year ago, and at that time it was still Cody, because it's been Cody since he's got there. As soon as he got that belt, he was the number one guy.
Who is the face of AEW for the last year? It's any of 10 people.
Yeah.
And it may be more than 10.
Yeah. Because,
if you count the Bucks as one person.
Yeah. Well, and that's the good thing with them is that the number one, the QB, the however you want to say it, is not necessarily the world champ. They hitch their wagon to a person for the month, and that's who we're focusing on. It's been Kyle Fletcher for a little while. He's been like the main thing that they've been putting everything around.
Him and Hangman.
Yeah, him and Hangman. Hangman, to me, hasn't been the face of the company, even though he's the world champ. But that's just because they're focusing on other stuff. It's not because he's less of a champion or less of a performer. They're just not focusing on that. They're focusing on other stuff, which is fine.
I feel like he had, if he's not the face of the company, he's the backbone.
Yeah.
But Swerve, Ospreay, Tony Storm, Moxley, there's any of a number of people you could sit here and Brodito, the Bucks, Kenny. Like, there's been so many people in such high spots. Mark Briscoe. Like, this man has been involved in everything this year.
Yeah. And Stampede, that is a perfect statement of how they've got that, of why they do that, is because at any point, if Hangman goes down with an injury, there are so many people that could slip into that role and no one would bat an eye. In WWE, there's a lot less of those. You have like the core 4 or 5 people, but then if you slot one of those 4 or 5 people into that slot, you're taking them away from another high-profile thing that you've already got them in.
Seth went down and we replaced him with Logan Paul. The fuck?
Oh, he's humble,
that's
though.
That's my point. He's what?
He's humble, though.
Piece of shit. But like you said, though, if Hangman went down right now, I can put that world title on 4 people.
Yeah, easily.
And that's a minimum.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we'll just go ahead and fantasy that. You've got, if Hangman goes down, you've got Darby, that's the top of it. You could always give it back to Mox. You've got Kenny there in the background. You've got Kyle Fletcher. You could go ahead and pull that trigger and say he gets the world title. You could give it to Takeshita.
You could put it back on Kenny.
You could put it back on Kenny. You got Takeshita. You got Okada. Both of those with the rivalry they got going. If one of them got it, that still continues their rivalry. They just now have a world title mixed into it. And can you imagine Takeshita with the New Japan and the AEW world title becoming his own belt collector, which then opens up another thing with him and Kenny if you want to go that route. So many ways you could deal with that.
That's my point, though. You could put the world title on Mark Briscoe.
Yeah.
You could put the AEW title on Mark Briscoe. Are we all going to go, what the fuck, when it happens? Yes. Does it make it any less entertaining? No.
But when he goes in that ring and starts, spouting off chicken farming, judo chopping, Froggy Bowen, crazy talk, I'm going to love every minute of it.
Yeah, 100%. You're not wrong.
For sure.
So I think the less pay-per-views is a good thing. I think it also makes the weekly shows a little more important.
Yeah. Well, and more entertaining because you're building more. It's not just we're having the 3rd match or the 5th contract writing, and like
there's nothing that says you have to wait till the pay-per-view to blow a feud off.
Right.
Do it at week 4, knowing you have 4 weeks of the pay-per-view to build something else.
Yeah.
If it's not hitting, it's not hitting.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good thing too. It would give you some time. Here's that famous word again: to pivot if you have to. If the fans are getting into it by week 2, then yeah, you could throw in, okay, well, at the end of this match, we'll have him come in and attack you. That'll open that up. We'll make this a 3-way or whatever, or just cut that one off completely, and now it's these 2 guys.
You have a here's the thing, you need a pivot.
Do I need a pivot?
Need a pivot. Okay, what's next?
So the next thing, mine was championship matches. Or no, that was the one we already did. Was the one thing to be earned. Different creative teams for each division. I have said this for years. Okay, we have a head of creative. We're gonna go ahead and say SmackDown. We're gonna throw the man who is the better sports entertainer than Bret Hart, Road Dogg Jesse James. We're going to throw him a little bit under the bus because SmackDown has been a little unbearable. About the time that they went 3 hours and then popped it back down, it's still kind of been unbearable. But the whole idea is you have this person who's head of creative and he's got his hands in everything, but then that means that we still only have one singular focus. And so for a while, the focus was those tag teams. We had the SmackDown 6 tag teams. That was the only focus. Can you remember anything during that time period other than those tag matches? Because nothing else was there. That's what we focused on. And it was great matches.
Yes.
Yeah, they were bangers. And the story was amazing. However, everything else suffered. I think you go into this and you go, okay, I've got a women's division, I got a tag division, I got a men's division. I need a group of people to do that world title stuff. You've got 30 minutes of the night. Figure it out. The tag team division, you've got 45 for the night. Figure it out. Women, you have another 30 for the night. Figure it out. Do something. And then that way we have a full focus story in each division. Not just, we're focused on this world title, we're focused on the tag title, everything else suffers. That's ridiculous.
100%. Like, I love AEW. We've talked about this. I don't hide my love for AEW. I 100% will call them out on their shit, too. But I don't like that Tony is their head of creative. I don't like it. You have some of the greatest minds in the business in that company. And I'm not just talking about your in-ring people. You have so much backstage that has so much in-ring knowledge and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they not your creative team?
Yeah. Well, and if nothing else, just the idea of you've had Brian Danielson there for how long? Kind of on the shelf. Have him run something. Give him a story. Give him a division. Give us some stuff, man. Do some stuff. Make Collision his show.
You have Mox, who everyone has said is one of the best minds in the business. Dean Malenko. Jay Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Danielson. Jericho. Like,
as much as I hate to say it, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, that's who I can think of. There was one I was missing. I couldn't think of it. Sanjay Dutt. Like, Jerry Lynn. You have people that have done this for 20 to 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Serena Deeb. That's another one.
Yeah.
For the women's
That's
division.
what I'm saying. You have Madison Rain.
Mm-hmm. I forgot she was
Why
even
have
there.
you not hired Gail Kim, other than the fact that she can't shut the fuck up on Twitter?
Because she can't turn off the Twitter.
But you want to see that women's division flourish even more? Bring Gail in.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again,
I mean, they're not going to after the whole thing that she did, but
yeah.
Before that.
But again, to bring it to my point of my third thing there, give them the women's division. And say you have 45 minutes of every Dynamite that's yours. You write me 45 minutes of tape every single week. and we'll do whatever you say. And then that way, for that 45 minutes, we are focused on the women's division and focused on a story for the women's division. And it doesn't always have to be about a title. It also doesn't always have to be about a man. It can just be a story. What are we doing with this? Like, for instance, with the Hangman stuff, there's not really a direct Hangman story right now, but there's still a story. This whole thing with Samoa Joe and the Ops, and now, now Hook is pissed off at the Ops because the Ops went around his back and did all sorts of stuff, and there's still a story there, even though we're not focused on the world title. And that's fine. There's still a singular story we're talking about in that division. I do wish we would stop having people that are champs. I could do without that a couple of times. I don't need everybody to have 2 or 3 belts. But that's neither here nor there.
Like I said, I agree with you. And Stampede, you're 100% right. Cole broke his ankle. We pivoted the MJF story. MJF got hurt. We just kept going.
Yeah.
Like, when you have this much talent, okay.
I do wish, as soon as they got him cleared, they would have kept him off a couple of more weeks, though, to fix that story. Because once we finally got to it, and we were in a situation where now Adam Cole's the bad guy, but he's not able to wrestle yet.
He's not cleared.
He's not cleared, and so he can't really be the bad guy. And then we flip it like a week later, and all of a sudden Adam Cole's the good guy. And
yeah,
we need to work that story out a little bit more. But
and again, that's where having a writing team makes a difference.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is hard to see who's the person you need to watch in WWE anymore. Like, I would say watch Chelsea Green, but we relegated her to NXT. We put her on AAA. We didn't really promote that either. Like, that's the thing that baffled me about them winning the title, is because we kind of just said it the week before, and then they showed up, and then they won the titles. And then we find out that Chelsea Green was getting a rematch for the U.S. title like the week before, and then she won the U.S. title back. Not that I'm against her winning it, but holy crap. We did, in our news segment, we talked about the top 10. We didn't go into all 250, but we did talk a little bit about the top 10. If you have any thoughts about it, you want to drop it in there, we can always go back and talk a little bit more about it. But while you get that stuff together, we'll go ahead and go over Tori's last of the 3 count, which is be more open to cross-promotion, which I'm interested in hearing about this one, because I feel like one of the companies is doing cross-promotion, not well, but they're doing it.
They're not cross-promoting. They're just buying them. That's not cross-promoting. When you own the other company, it's not cross-promoting.
That's valid.
Yes, they don't own TNA yet, and I feel like that's just a matter of time. They put the right number out there, Anthem is going to take that shit in a minute, and TNA is done.
Yeah.
I'm talking between, and yes, WWE has CMLL, they have TNA, they have all the others. You're not wrong, Stampede.
Well, and they did it before that too with MJF and Jericho, because they did the gentleman's brunch or whatever it was.
So stupid.
It was stupid. It was great.
It was stupid, but it was entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
That's what I forgot to mention in social media. BTE. Those shows are fucking great, and especially when Brody was alive.
Yeah.
That Dark Order stuff was some of the best stuff I've ever seen.
I think with what they're doing, if they don't do it, I think it's a bad call. With what they're doing with them and the Callis family now, and Callis is kind of bankrolling some stuff.
Yeah.
Him bankrolling to bring back BTE.
Oh, no, they're doing BTEs again.
Are they? I haven't seen them. So.
Yeah. They've started doing them. They're not quite what they were before, but they've started doing them again.
Okay.
That
was another thing to get people that didn't have TV time.
Yeah.
Because Hangman was off TV for the longest time, but the skits with him and Dark Order, and then they end up finally making that a storyline on TV,
Yeah,
where the
because
Dark
it was
Order
so
loved.
popular.
Yeah, because Dark Order loved Hangman.
And I know WWE TKO, they're never going to do it. Yeah, no, you're 100%.
They're the Monet puppet.
I just had this image of. Oh shit, that's funny.
I want to do a picture now. I might Photoshop that later of Santino as Bernie and Shawn and Triple H holding him up. Anyway,
They're never going to do it. But how many things have we talked about, especially with all of the retirements? Sting's retirement. Now Cena's retirement. Next is AJ's retirement.
mm-hmm.
Sheamus's retirement's coming. Like, the fact that we did not get Edge during Cena's retirement is a travesty.
Mm-hmm. That is going to be an opportunity lost, and it's because he's on a contract. Like, it's nothing they can necessarily do about it.
But this is where the cooperation thing comes in.
Well, and
you're telling me you couldn't have worked something out when Sting was retiring to say, okay, we know Cena's about to do it.
I hate that I'm about to actually have these words leave my mouth because I might vomit a little. But Vince did this before. He had Christian. TNA had Ric Flair. He wanted to induct the Four Horsemen into the Hall of Fame. Christian had just got back from TNA. And he said, look, I will let you borrow Christian if I can borrow Ric Flair. Because he deserves this Hall of Fame entry. He deserves to be in it. And they worked it out. And Christian showed up on their TV. It wasn't even it was literally just like a pay-per-view that they did, and he just showed up on the pay-per-view. He didn't do anything. He just had a little moment in the ring, and that was it. But still, they worked it out of like, hey, we give you, you give us, we're good. Yeah, having a moment of, hey, we'll give you one of our guys for a night, or for their casino battle royal, for any number of things where they have these multi-man things. Hey, you can have a couple of our guys. Let us have Cope back for one match with Cena.
Yep.
Just so we can, like, they are each other's Joker and Batman.
We'll double count out. We'll time limit draw so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah. There'll be no cages for Cope to jump off of.
Right. But AJ's about to retire. There's no way we're going to get Joe. And that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, Joe and Daniels.
Yeah.
Christopher Daniels.
If you let them go do something with NXT, not NXT, for TNA with AJ, okay.
Yeah, that's still fine.
Work this shit out.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. We've been in wrestling a long time. We've been involved with watching wrestling for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Our people are starting to retire. Cena, Sting, AJ, Sheamus. Like, oh no, they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't at all. They don't in the slightest. And that's the part that sucks. This is why I have such a problem with it. You have people these people have lifelong friendships. Daniels, Joe, and AJ have been friends for 20 plus years.
Yeah, easily.
Neither one of them is going to get to be involved in his retirement.
Yeah.
That's a travesty.
Yeah.
Hope and Cena had huge feuds that made both of them massive stars.
Mm-hmm.
Cope didn't get to be involved, and that's a travesty. Sting's wasn't as big of a deal because there were so few people in WWE that were huge parts of his life.
Right.
There's a couple, but overall, they just aren't.
Well, and like even if you just think of the Legends deals, right? So you have WWE Legends deals. If Nash could have showed up, if Six Pac could have showed up, like any of those guys that were part of that WCW crew, if Booker could have showed up, and Booker can still go, so even like have Booker do a match with him,
Yeah,
just for
that's
fun.
what I'm saying. But this is where
Bring back the main event Mafia for a night.
But that's exactly. This is where not having these things worked out sucks.
Yeah. I mean, one that I even thought about, and one of the guys we don't particularly care for, but just for the nostalgia fun of it, now that AJ Lee is back in the fold, having Kane and Daniel Bryan show up, just so we see that love triangle again of she had a thing with all three of them, would be kind of fun.
Paige should show up.
Paige not
But
being
that's what I'm
there
saying.
in general is a travesty, but that's neither here nor there.
There's just enough things that there's enough people that are under contracts that are going to cause us to not get the farewells that we should. I understand Edge is off doing his own, Copeland's off doing his own thing right now. It's not on TV. There is no reason to not have him show up at Saturday Night's Main Event. It does not conflict with any of your shit.
Even if not for a match. Like, because I understand, like,
Just show up.
He's doing his own thing right now, and that's why he's not doing things on TV and not having a match, so he doesn't get hurt because of the contracts he has with the acting stuff he's doing. That's fine. But just having him not show up, even for the last match, just showing up to support the biggest rival he's had in his career, like that's dumb not to let that happen. Just because we don't want to work with each other because it's a, member measuring contest.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, again, this is where the scratch my back, I'll scratch yours comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Having Joe and Daniel show up over there and then have somebody from there show up over here when it matters.
Yeah. Well,
it may not be for 6 months or a year.
A great example of that is they were pushing this book, right? This new AEW book. It's not the one that's,
Right.
And just to be clear, it's not the one that's going to go into great detail. It's not the one that's airing all the laundry. It's just the history of.
Yeah.
But in that history of book, they do have Punk and they do have Cody.
And they should.
Having them show up just to help promote the book. And then in turn, send some dudes to WWE to do some stuff too. It's Hamilton, right? It's in the room where it happened. I give you, you give me. Sometimes I'll get more than I gave. It's fine. As long as you're both doing it. It's the raising all ships. It is business. I completely agree with you on that. But I think even in owning the company, I think they can look at the structure of what happened when WCW went away. And there was no big competition. TNA was there, but they weren't a competition. We're nowhere near. NWA got created around the same time as far as the Power Show. Not a big competition. AEW has now gotten a bigger competition. They're still a fair second, but it's a bigger competition. If there's no alternative on TV, it's not good for anybody. And so saying, we're not going to help you get bigger than us, but we will help you with some stuff if you help us with some stuff.
Right.
Raising all the ships. I
just
think that's where we're coming from on that.
Yeah. Very much so.
Well, speaking of Cena, that is our main event for the night. We are going to talk about the fact
That is a crazy sound effect.
We're going to talk about the fact that the time is now is almost over. John Cena Final Match Tournament, it's official. The countdown to John Cena's final match has begun. The 17-time world champion will close his legendary career at Saturday night's main event on December 13th. I cannot believe those words are coming out of my mouth. Seeing that man debut, slapping Kurt Angle in the face, yelling the two stupid words that he just heard from a promo that Vince decided to say, and all he could remember was the words ruthless aggression, to who he is today is amazing. And it's so strange that we are almost at the end of that. First of all, before we even go into like the farewell and the tournament that's happening right now, what are your thoughts with this?
Did you see it?
Did I see what?
The Northern Lights outside?
I didn't.
took out pictures of it.
No. Can you see it right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we're almost done. So Grace is home from work.
Hi, Grace.
I have not always been on the Cena bandwagon. I'm the first to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little sad about this. Like, I was excited last night when to be fair, I fell asleep last night watching it, but I woke up after he had won.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. Like, he is a Grand Slam champion. The fact that we got this a month before he's done is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That it took that long for him to be a Grand Slam champion is crazy.
I was surprised. I honestly didn't think they were going to give it to him. I think he's bigger than that accolade at this point, but it's cool that they gave it to him.
I'm totally going to eat while we talk because she brought me pizza.
That's fine. But so now we're at the point where we're doing this 16-man bracket between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and some people who may not even work here. Which, I mean, we don't know what that means yet. It's obvious it's probably going to be TNA people. Maybe people that are on the indies that he has some sort of, connection to, like maybe a Baron Corbin. That could be fun.
If you brought him back just for this, I'm here for it.
Yeah. So far, the only matches that we've had and or have announced, we had Rusev versus Damian Priest. Rusev got the
Rusev and Sheamus. Oh yeah, it was Priest. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We had Rusev and Priest. And Rusev won that match. We had Sheamus and Shinsuke. Sheamus won that match. I'm upset by this because I think we've already seen 327 and a half matches between Rusev and Sheamus at this point. I don't want to see
Did
another
they
one.
wrestle each other next?
Yeah, they're next to the bracket together. Like, I don't want to see this match again. I don't want to do this. We've seen this enough. And it was just like a couple of months ago. Upcoming matches that have been announced. The Miz versus Jey Uso. Please, God, let the Miz win that match.
Miz will win that.
I'm pro Miz. I want Miz to win this whole thing. I want Miz to be the last match at this point.
Did you see his tweet about Cena winning the Grand Slam?
Good job. I've done it twice. And you did it with the title that I made prominent. And now I'm going to win that from you after I win this tournament. I'm down. Let's do it.
The odds are, in my head, Sheamus is winning this tournament.
It makes sense. Sheamus wins. Sheamus is then also the Grand Slam champion. Makes perfect sense. Time to make snack. That's, yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's a Big E special. But once I've seen it, it's not that special anymore.
And we've seen it 27 times.
We get Javon Evans versus Gunther. Rest in peace, Javon Evans. That man is going to get slapped out of the sky. It's I do not envy his chest at the end of that match. And then we have two matches that have surprises to it. We have an upcoming match with LA Knight versus someone to be named later by Aldis. I think that one's kind of obvious because Aldis said specifically he wants to wait to say his name until next week. I think it's kind of obvious where that's going to happen and what's going to go with that.
So if that happens, I need Ethan Page to cost Joe Hendry that match.
Yeah, but then you get LA Knight to go on in the tournament, and I'm not okay with that either.
This man has been feuding with the Vision all summer. He's not in War Games. The fuck?
I'm pretty sure it's because he held that sign up that said, "We want LA Knight, not Jay." It's just like, look, great.
Stop him when he's telling lies.
And then the second surprise match is we have Solo Sikoa versus a surprise opponent.
It's Randy.
Do you think? All right. I wouldn't be against that one. The rumor and innuendo online right now is that it's
I disagree.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. The story that's going to build because of what Judgment Day is doing with that, and then his reaction after the match in his little promo backstage of like, where the hell was Judgment Day? Where was my family? And then naming them all by name. Roman wouldn't be bad either if it was Roman and Solo. I like that. That'd be kind of cool. That is going to make that story even bigger. And at this point, honestly, I think Dom is bigger than the IC belt. He's got that AAA world title, and I think he could easily go for one of the world titles in WWE at the moment. And I think he'd be perfectly fine in that role. He's leaps and bounds beyond where his dad was at his age. And I cannot...
At his age? He leaps and bounds beyond where his dad is now. The fuck? That man ain't been the same since he was a human lawn dart.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I don't like Ray. I own that.
But Cardona is the leading theory right now of who the secret opponent is for Solo.
I'd be okay with that one too.
Yeah, I'd be all right with that one. As the field narrows, obviously, Cena's final match is growing closer. It's also growing clearer of who it might be. The thing that kind of irks me about this tournament is that we have Lady Alpha, sweetheart, I think that was actually before your time too. We're going to show you that video too.
Way before her
ooh,
time.
Jesus. He was a lawn dart, quite literally. Kevin Nash did not pull any punches on that. But where we are with this of looking at who's currently in it, it looks like a possibility of people that we've seen storyline with before, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to continue it. The Miz to me makes sense because the Miz's first big moment is beating John Cena at WrestleMania. And I think he's been looking for that thing to push him back up into it. And now that he's got this thing going on with Melo, if he went against Cena, got the Intercontinental title, Melo gets in the middle of that story, Melo gets the IC belt, I think that helps him in the long run. So I think that makes sense. But we have Solo Sikoa, who, he thumbed him in the throat 16 times or whatever it was and beat John Cena. We should have got the comeuppance from that a long time ago. So us doing that now doesn't make any sense to me. I've seen him and Sheamus too many times. I've seen him and Rusev too many times. I don't need either one of those matches. I wish Damian or Shinsuke would have won their match, because at least then it's someone who Cena hasn't had a long story with. Either a fresh start with Damian or a fresh start with Shinsuke. That would be kind of fun to think about. It's not where we're going to go, but at least it would bring that little bit into the story. I just hope that the rest of the ones that we fill out on this, because we still have quite a few matches that are between now and then, hopefully we get more names that are not in Cena's history. I want to see some young kids or people from the current age that we did not get to see Cena face. I don't know what you think, but that's
That
my
laugh
part.
reactions because I pulled up that video and watched it
The
like
lawn
4
dart.
times.
Um,
Oh, that shit is so good.
Back then, we didn't have the technology. Now you could see it at half speed, which I'm sure would be great.
Yo,
Nymphal.
I can remix this business. Yes.
Wicka, wicka, wicka. But anyway, John Cena's final opponent. The time is now. One last time. It'd be kind of cool. Like it's weird seeing that end. Like you said, it's the people now that we've seen start. What in your hand? All right, love you. See you in the morning. Sorry, my kiddo was going to bed. And yes, and I know we want Oba, Lady Alpha. I know we want Oba.
She also wants him to be in that match.
That too. Jesus Christ. It is sad. Like, we are getting at that point in our age where we've seen people start their career and end their career within our timeline, and that's sad for us because now we're old as shit. But anyway, we are going to go ahead and before we go to our hot tag segment, we're going to go ahead and bring up the Gimmick Table Media read. So you can see that here in just a moment. I don't know why my buttons are not working today. Try that again.
Don't go anywhere. Ace Finley again, reminding you to check out Gimmick Table Media, a community of creators, streamers, podcasters, and fans from all corners of entertainment. Dive into chats, collabs, and laughs. There's always a spot for you at the table. Catch all our amazing shows, creators, and exclusive content at linktr.ee/GimmickTableMedia.
So the hot tag segment this week.
Gifts, guys, to unlock 3 times gifting points. Boom.
Wait, are we doing this one again?
Nope, my bad. I forgot that we didn't have a video this week for him. This week's hot tag goes out to the EVP CJP himself. You can find him on X at EVP CJP and on YouTube at the EVP Show. He's been taking some time off, well deserved, and kind of just doing some things for the DWE group, for Final Boss Baby, for Miami. But he's actually coming back with his own show back, kicking off Monday with a Raw recap of his own. His comes immediately 30 minutes after the show, so his will probably usually start before Mine and Lady Alpha's Aftermath. So definitely go in and support him, see what he's got to say as well. But he is bringing in a Raw recap, an NXT recap, an NFL recap. He's going to do some parlay and pick stuff alongside with Miami the Great, who's also a big part of the group here. He's also bringing you some SmackDown recaps, plus full coverage of every NXT and WWE PLE, including predictions and post-show breakdowns. So if you like any of that stuff, go check him out. The EVP is back in business. So for the last pop this week, I feel like we got to talk about the fact of Veterans Day. I know it's very tumultuous to talk anything political or anything. Anything political is, I guess, the best way I can say it. But we do want to take a moment to honor all those who have served our country with courage, with integrity, and honor. Your sacrifice and your commitment make it possible for us to be able to live with the freedoms that we sometimes take for granted. And as we are in this tumultuous time, we need to fight even harder. From all of us here, thank you for your service. Thank you for your strength, and thank you for your example. Today and every day, we remember you and we appreciate you. So you can catch us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky. You can sign up for the Kicking Attitude Discord. You can drop your thoughts, share your faves, and keep this conversation going. If you want to follow us or any of the people that are part of the Gimmick Table Media Group, right there at that QR code has links to all of our socials, links to all of our platforms. Go check that out. Support the group. Support us. Buy the shirt. We do have a merch shop on there. Buy the shirt. Buy the bear. Those bears are cute. I might have to buy a bear. Like I might have to spend money to buy our own bear. But anyway, in the meantime and in between time, thank you very much to wonderful Prof that was in the chat today. Appreciate you being here. Lady Alpha, always good to have you here. Final Boss Baby, Stampede, of course, always here. Big Mike also dropped by. And we also had other people drop by that didn't say anything. Hey, I'm fine with lurkers here. You want to hang out in the corner and stare at us? That's fine. I'm usually the ones doing that to other people. But I've been told it's creepy and weird. I don't think you're creepy and weird.
Don't forget Professor Bear. We appreciate you.
I said Prof. I gave you a nickname. I apologize. I shorten stuff sometimes. Yes, absolutely. Welcome in. We appreciate you watching. You're welcome here anytime. Cannot wait to see you and be part of your show on the 14th of January. Catch that out, guys. As we get closer to it, we'll post that on our socials so you'll know where to go, where to see it. But in the meantime, and in between time, we will catch you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out at 2. We stand together with pride worldwide.